But I think Dory's going to start with one of her stories.
Oh, my hell.
One of her most embarrassing moments.
Well, I don't know which is most. I have several like that kind of just come straight to my mind. But just so you know, I embarrass myself on a daily basis. I'm the person that like stuff comes out of my mouth before I can realize that how fast that's come out, and I can't put it back in. I'm like trying to shove it back in my mouth. No, wait. So
Never mind.
I get him. Yeah. Nothing to see here. Didn't do that. Man, as we're sitting here, I'm actually writing some stuff down because I don't want to forget in case we get on this. But one that I really always think of, this was just so embarrassing. As you all know, we've touched a little bit on the fact that I was in a band for a long time, a traveling band for many, many, many years, and traveled all over the country in a rock band.
I think you told me this story. Oh my gosh. If it's the one I'm thinking.
It is. Okay. And so, well, I have many, but this one is the one that always stands out in my mind. But I had many embarrassing moments on stage. So our band used to often play in this club called the Beachcombers in Kodiak, Alaska. This was back in the 80s, early 80s. And we would play there 6 to 9 months out of the year. And then from there, we would go over to Hawaii and we'd play for like 4 to 6 months. And then we go home to LA, Los Angeles, and play for a month. And that's when we would go down to LA and try to play in the big rooms. This was back in the days of Scouts, right?
Okay.
They didn't have computers. They didn't have internet. We didn't have YouTube. There were no cell phones, any of that. Like you were trying to get.
Back in the old days.
Back in the day before dirt. We're trying to get seen.
How do we do anything then?
Oh my God. Yeah. So we kind of had a following. So we had been playing in Alaska, and then we'd go over to Hawaii, and then we were a big deal. And then we'd come back over and we'd play. And by the way, the band's name was LA Network. So cool. we actually did that for several years. And we were like the house band at these two places. And when we'd show up, the place would get packed, especially the first night. Cool. It was like unreal. It was just surreal. Yeah. And this one club that we actually played at in Alaska, it was an old airplane hangar, and it could hold about 300 people. It was giant. The stage was one of the biggest stages I've ever played on. It was about 3 feet up off of the ground. The dance floor was about the size of, maybe about about a quarter of a football field. I mean, it was giant. Wow. And it was all metal because they would lots of times fill it with mud, and like girls would come in mud wrestle. And I have another story about that. Seeing this girl that I used to babysit in the mud pit one day, I'm like, does your father know what you are doing here, young lady? I am calling your parents. Anyways, so the stage was huge. The band, so we had been in Alaska, or been in Hawaii. Our band had been playing. We were gone for about 4 months or so, and it was our first night back in Alaska, and the place was packed. And we come out, just like, we're coming out on stage, and it's like a concert, and it's dark, and the lighters are all lighting and everything, and we just kind of come on stage. Well, I had these pair of boots that I actually borrowed from somebody, and they were just like these little half boots, but they had like that super teeny tiny heel. Oh yeah. The spiky heel. Yeah. And it wasn't very long. It was probably only about an inch, but it was a spiky spike. And on the outside of these black boots was this beautiful fishnet woven fabric. It was like fishnet fabric. Okay. And so we're walking out, and we're all like, yeah, and I've got my hands up in the air, and the bass is boom, 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 and the drums boom, 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 boom. And Trish and I, there was another girl in the band at the time. We walk out, and we get up to the front of the stage. We start playing, and at the very end, I put my hands up, and I'm like, yeah, and I go to step forward, and I caught that little spike in the other boot in that fishnet, and I didn't want to rip it. So microphone and all, I went head off of that stage onto the dance floor head first.
Were there people there? Were you mosh pitting?
There were people there. Nobody caught me. I just hit the ground, and it's going to sound like this is what it sounded like. And then the microphone. And I stood up, and I'm like, Dory. And I just stood up, and I went, yeah, and I put my hands up in the air, and the crowd went wild. I was like, but dude, I was so embarrassed. My bandmates were cracking up.
You're lucky you didn't get hurt.
Oh, it hurt. It hurt. Plenty. I'm lucky I didn't break my neck because I seriously landed almost head first because I flipped off the stage. I mean, imagine flipping off of a 3-foot. I landed on my back. So I just did a somersault off the stage.
Oh my God.
So that was one of my most embarrassing moments. I was probably only about 21, 22 years old.
Resilient.
Yeah. Well, I'm nothing if I ain't resilient, sister.
That's for sure. That is for sure.
All right, your turn. Go, Lori.
My story, it is very embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me to tell it, but it was only in front of about half a dozen people. But we were sitting at around a table, it was a board meeting. So we were in a board meeting. Actually, we weren't in a boardroom. This board meeting was taking place in our basement, but important people for our company were there, and I had to get up and get something. And so I get up and I step up on this step. Of course, I don't know what I had for lunch, but I step up there and I let out, a toot.
Was it a loud one or?
It was loud enough for everybody to hear. I thought I was going to die. And one of the guys, this is the guy we knew the last, he goes, "Oh, got a squeaky boot?" Like, oh my God. Like, ew. Excuse me. I just wanted to die.
Okay, here's the
got
question.
A squeaky boot? That's a big family joke now. So anytime anybody's like making a funny face or something, we're like, "Oh, got a squeaky boot there?" Gosh, I thought I just wanted to die.
So the room didn't clear out.
Didn't clear out. No,
goodness.
Thank God. Yeah, I didn't clear everybody out of the room. It wasn't that kind.
Everybody's reaching for tissues.
It was
their
definitely
eyes.
loud enough that everybody heard it. There was no ignoring the squeaky boot. So that's that's an embarrassing moment of mine. But
Oh, geez. I have a whole bunch more. Where do I even start? I'll tell this one. This one is a younger one also. I don't know about you, but roller skating was a big deal when I was a teenager.
oh my gosh, yes.
We used to go to the roller skating rink, and listen to Steely Dan and
Hold hands under the black light.
Oh yeah, and then singles and double skates and girls only, boys only, and everything. And back in the day, we used to, this was before
And races. We used to have races too.
Oh yeah, and this was back in the day before they had Levi's that stretch, right?
Right.
So if you were wearing your Levi's tight,
Oh God.
they were tight. I'd wear mine so tight I'd get the double thing in the back of my leg, So I'd get the double butt.
Oh God.
So I had these tight bell-bottom jeans on, of course, which is not good to be skating in anyways, and they were kind of like hip huggers. I was way into the hip huggers, so they were just cool. And they had, buttons all the way down, and then in the back, like it was just kind of like V'd down. So they were these just old, hippie.
Some of those cool.
Totally
jeans we
hippie
loved.
jeans.
Yeah.
Loved them. They're my favorite jeans. So anyways, there was this guy that
Ours were mom jeans though. The ones that we wore.
like the dittos.
Were like high-waisted.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and girls, that was popular back then too, like the dittos, and it came way up high. I couldn't wear them because they went over my belly button. Anything that goes over my navel drives me up a wall. I don't like it. Even back then.
Yeah, my girls wear all those pants now.
Now they do.
What the heck?
Yeah, mom jeans.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm not into it. But every now and again, I'll see a girl in them. I'm like, now that's a body that can rock the mom jeans.
Yeah, right?
Dude.
I like the mom jeans though. Cause,
my daughter loves them. I hate them.
Dory doesn't have to worry because she doesn't have no body fat. Anyway, I interrupted your story. Okay,
Anyway,
so here you're at the skating rink.
So we're at the skating ring, and there's this one guy that comes every weekend. He's older. He's probably like 18, 19, and I'm like 14, 15. Yeah. He was a man, and he was gorgeous, and all the girls loved him, and everybody wanted to try to make out with him and whatever, We were, it was just like a skate, and we're all skating around, and I kept trying to, I think his name was Tom. I don't know why that keeps coming up to me. But
He probably was a real loser with people his age. So why else would he be hanging out with the young people?
He was very nice. Like, he talked to everybody. He was like super nice, but he was always just like skating. And then one week you'd see him hooked up with one girl. And then it was like, I think he was a player, if I'd have known what that was back then.
18,
right?
That's dangerous.
So he's skating around, and I'm like, trying to skate and try to keep up with him, and doing the crossover around the corners. trying to keep up with him. And all of a sudden somebody comes around and they lock skates with me, and I go flying I land on my face and I'm out cold. Knocked out.
For real?
Oh, yeah. Out cold. Knocked out. And when I woke up to this guy and this crowd's all the way around me. And this guy, Tom, is down there over me like, are you okay? Are you okay? And then the staff's running over. And I just remember looking up and I swear I thought I died and went to heaven. And there he was.
Oh my God.
And he was so nice. But I get up and I start to skate off and my pants had split from where the buttons ended on the crotch all the way up to the seam to the band in the back. Wide open ass.
Oh my word.
Thank God I was wearing underwear. But and then my eyebrow.
That would have been embarrassing.
I hit my eye. It was swelled up and all the hair on my eyebrow was off.
Geez.
I'm like bleeding. But Tom helped me off the skating rink as my ass is showing.
Face rash. Open pants.
Butt showing.
Butt cheeks hanging out.
And all of this because I was trying to catch him.
Oh my. Well, you got him though.
For a minute. Yeah.
You got his attention.
Until my parents came and picked me up.
Thinking that you're getting a little chilly.
No,
windy.
Somebody gave me a sweater to, I don't remember. Maybe it was a friend of mine I was with. But not till I was freaking off the dance floor with my butt hanging out.
Oh no.
And I had some ass back then. I was bigger than I am now. I was a bigger girl back when I was a teenager.
Well, I have a story kind of similar to that. When I was in the 8th grade, I was learning to ski. So my best friend, her mother took her and I up to this ski slope and we were learning to ski. So we took these lessons. So we're skiing down the little hill, the bunny hill, learning how to do the snow plow and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Falling over 50 times in one, ski run and trying to figure out how to stop and all that kind of stuff.
How old were you?
I was in the 8th grade. So I was probably
12, maybe?
I was probably 13 or so. The whole group of us are going down this little trail and I'm feeling like, wow, I'm getting pretty good at this. Maybe I'll be in the Olympics, all this stuff is going through my head like, woo, yeah, I got it going on. I'm in front of everybody. I'm doing my snowplow really well. And the instructor's like, go that way. So I look back and they're telling me to take this trail to the left. So I'm like, okay. And I've got this bright green, ski suit on and stuff, which was really popular back then.
Right.
So I take this trail to the left and I'm just like, woo, yeah. And I must have looked a different direction or something. Well, the trail goes left and I go straight.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, I'm in Oregon. So Mount Hood is where we were skiing. Oh, yeah. And in Oregon, the trees are so tall. When it snows, half the tree is covered up. So I go straight. The trail goes left. I keep going. I can't stop. I literally go into the tree.
Oh, geez.
So I go down into the snow and get caught in the branches of this huge tree. So if it were springtime, I'd probably be, how many feet up in the air if somebody were to look up at me.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm stuck in this tree and the snow is just above my just below my eye level. So I can kind of see, but I'm caught. So my arms are kind of caught and I have my pole in my hand still. So I'm kind of shocked.
Help.
Oh my gosh, what just happened? So I'm stuck all in this tree with the snow. Look, my eyes are just peeking above the snow and I'm waving this ski pole. Help! Help!
You're so lucky to get hurt.
Oh, I could have died. People have died.
Yeah, Sonny Bono.
That.
Sonny Bono hit a tree.
I'm like, help, help. And I could see people just skiing by. Well, I didn't realize it, but somebody with a green suit like mine was down at the bottom of the hill.
They thought that was you.
They didn't realize I was missing. So they get down the hill and they're like, where's Lori? And I'm up there, oh my God, somebody help me. I can't get out. Finally, they realize, they must have gone back up the hill and saw my little trail off the trail, found me. These two very cute ski, rescue guys pull me out of this tree. Yeah, that was the last time I skied.
Yeah.
After that, I'm like, I'm never skiing again. That was it. I was done. I was so embarrassed. I thought,
that would ruin you for wanting to ski ever. I could totally see that.
That was it.
You have experiences like that and you're like, yep, nope.
You ain't doing that. Can't stop. Go in trees.
I'm glad they found you before it got nighttime and dark.
That would have been terrible.
You would have died freezing.
Yeah, and I was in there quite a while. I mean, before they found me.
Were you cold?
But I was trying to yell, like, hey! I was probably muffled by all the snow around me. Yeah. There were people going by. So